Sweeper gets on the power in the Cayman and motors through the lights at 55.9 plus 2 cones there from Zell.
Here we are, 2025, tire rack, SCCA Solo Nationals. Thousands of racers, hundreds of cars, one gigantic slab of Lincoln, Nebraska airpark concrete, and me in this 1976 BMW 2002. We're in the F Street prepared class with a bunch of Misfit cars. We got 7th gen Celicas, Mark I Rabbit, take whatever generation of whatever weird underpowered car you can think of, slap on some Hoosiers, throw out the budget for the other cars, and you've got the best kind of insanity. I'm Ian, and you're watching Outside, Inside, Outside Racing, and we're gonna do this thing. Hey! All is well. 2 full days of racing had already come and gone at Solo Nationals by the time Doug and I arrived in Lincoln. Half the registered field had already taken their shot on Tuesday and Wednesday, and all of it came together that night at the Banquet. The banquet hall was packed. Friends were reunited, and awards were handed out. One of those awards went to our very own Brad Smith from our Kansas City region, winning the Heart of Solo Award for everything he does for the F-modified community and Solo in general. Being on the committee for the award, he had not wanted to be considered, but his friends ignored that, and thankfully so.
Brad was going to just smoke us out instead of saying something, so once again, Brad Smith.
Shout out to Brad for being f***ing awesome. After the banquet, Doug and I went to the Sunset Remembrance Ceremony. One by one, people stood and spoke the names of those they had lost in the past year. Racers, family members, every name met with reverence. The haze of the Canadian wildfire smoke turned the sky into a glowing backdrop. This is one of many reasons why I love this community. This ceremony was beautiful. That night we took our first walk of the East Course. Nationals courses feel like road courses compared to our local autocross events. They're long, fast, and unforgiving. And later, back at the hotel, we were able to study video from earlier heats from the people who had run before us in the week. That night, for the first time in a long time, I could run the entire course in my head like a simulator lap. I fell asleep with cones and corner entries bouncing around in my brain and ready for our shot the next morning. Thursday morning came early, and it was quite cold. The wind at the airpark cut right through you, but thanks to those videos from earlier in the week, I felt confident about the East Course. SCCA Solo Nationals can feel overwhelming, but I knew the layout this time, and working Heat 1 and running Heat 5 meant a long day, but also plenty of time to watch. My work assignment was sound, which I thought meant moving faders up and down for people who were announcing, but that's not it at all. I was standing trackside with a decibel meter, making sure that nobody broke the 107 decibel limit. Not glamorous, but important, and it passed the time. We had a lot of time to hang out, but eventually the FSP cars started to roll into grid. Now, Street Prepared is a fascinating class. We got sticky Hoosier tires, weight reduction, suspension, and just enough power adders to make things spicy, but not enough to really hide behind in the FSP class. Some builds are polished and purpose-built, while others are patched together with ingenuity and late nights. That's the beauty of FSP. It's where cleverness, budget, and commitment collide. Let's talk about the wide variety and collection of cars in this class. On one end of the spectrum, you have this 2008 Mazda 3 of Matt Jones and Danny Gross. Wide tires, huge flares, torque heavy, and the clear favorite in the class. The perennial contender, though, Zimmer and Sturgill's 77 Volkswagen Rabbit, a finely tuned 2-liter IT bead monster. And on the scrappy end, there's our new buddy Luke with his 300,000-mile plus Chevy Sonic. We had no illusions about being frontrunners in Doug's 76 BMW 2002, but that mix, the Misfit energy, is exactly what makes FSP so much fun. When it finally was our turn, my first run was clean, but offline in the back section. I don't know what I did there, but Doug DNF'd his opener, cutting off that back section. But his pace was quick, and by run 2 I had my line sorted out and dropped a little bit of time, while Doug definitely cleaned it up and jumped well ahead of me. Before run 3, we decided to make a drastic change. Talking about how the car just doesn't unstick the way that it does on street tires, so maybe tomorrow we might try a little more pressure in the rear or something.
If we drop 2 out of the front, that would be the same thing.
Yeah. Or it would probably be less so than jacking up the rears, but it would do the same effect. Why not? Why not? He's going to drop 2 out of the front. We were running 28 square, and we dropped the fronts to 26 to give us a little bit less grip from the rear end to promote that corner entry rotation that we love so well. And on run 3, the car came alive. For the first half of the run, I was yelling and screaming, saying this is the way it ought to be. Keep doing that, baby. Yeah, that's the ticket. All right, now we got something going, girl. Now we got something going. Hell yeah. The second half, things tightened up and it went right back to pushing again. You don't want to go around there. That's the way when you run road race Hoosiers on an autocross car. They heat up mid-run, and then you're kind of driving a different car. But Doug was able to use that rotation to find another 8/10, while I improved steadily but still stayed way behind. The gap to the leaders was obvious. The Mazda 3 ripped off a 52.9 straightaway, 12 seconds ahead of our time. The Rabbit stayed very close behind him, but the favorite was already clear, and for us, improvement would be our victory. And that night, we walked the West Course and went over to dinner with our Kansas City crew. After analyzing and overanalyzing and reanalyzing the runs, we settled in on a plan. We would bump up the rear tire pressures. The 2002 needed to rotate, and we were going to make it happen on Friday. Back to the Lincoln Air Park on Friday morning, and it felt a little different. The pressure was gone. Doug and I knew we were not in the hunt, and the West Course was beautiful and the cool morning air. With the rear tires bumped up, we were hopeful that the 2002 would finally come alive. Work came first. Sound duty for me again as the Extreme Street A class ran. These are Porsches, Evos, Miatas, our buddy Kent's LS-powered E30. This is a weird class too, just like FSP, but it's all cars with motor swaps and turbos, and it's chaos in the best way, and it kept the weight quite entertaining. When our heat came, as tire warmer and co-driver, I went out first. I was clean but slow, about 2 seconds off where I would land later, but it's pretty good. I like it. We're gonna have fun. Let's have fun. Doug followed, and he was smoother and already quicker. On run 2, he dropped 1.5 seconds, whereas I missed a shift. But still gained a couple of tenths, and I didn't really know what had caused it, and I probably should have thought a little bit more about it, because in run 3, the shift knob popped off entirely. I keep pulling this shift knob off, that's the problem. In these old BMWs, it just clips on, and it didn't stay clipped on for me. At that point, my run was thrown off, and I spun in the big sweeper, and I laughed my way to the finish. Doug closed with consistency.
Did I find a little more time?
You got 4 thousandths faster, sir. The real battle was up front. The 83 Mark I Rabbit GTI edged the famous Lamborghini for third, but neither could catch the Mazda 3, which held the lead by a few tenths to take the win. Then we go to impound, where every car parks. If needed, you get some wheels in the air for tech inspection. We, on the other hand, at the back of the pack, didn't need any checking, so we just enjoyed a beverage and waited around for the awards ceremony to watch people enjoy beverages out of their own shoes and such. I didn't get any videos of it, but it was pretty hilarious, pretty disgusting. But if I was ever to win a Nationals trophy, especially a podium spot, I would totally drink out of my shoe. When Friday was all done, we loaded the 2002, said our goodbyes to our friends, and pointed the trailer home. We didn't bring back any hardware, but we learned a lot. We closed the gap from 12 seconds off on Thursday to 7 seconds off on Friday just by getting the car to rotate. And for a street car on race Hoosiers, that felt like a victory in itself. So on the drive home, Doug and I reflected. We didn't bring back hardware, but we did bring back lessons. I left feeling like I learned more in 2 days at Nationals than I did in the entire season of our local events. And while Doug's 76 2002 gave us everything it had, the future is already taking shape. Doug's new build, Fergus, the son of Shrek, is being prepped specifically for FSP to be lighter, stickier, and sharper. We may not be chasing trophies quite yet, but we can definitely fight our way toward mid-pack, and that's our next goal. Now, if you're watching this, and you're thinking this event looks like just about the coolest thing you've ever seen, you're absolutely right. It is. And if you want to try autocross, just do it. Find your local SCCA region, figure out where your car fits in, and get on course. This is a passion, it's our chosen religion, and the best part isn't just the cars, it's the people. And they're all out there waiting, ready to help you feel the same way about autocross that we do. So I guess all that sappy-pappy crap just boils down to this. You go out and find your own apex, because it's better late than never.